What's up, boys? Today's video is about temptation, and I feel like I'm pretty qualified to talk on this topic because, I don't really deal with that old sense of temptation that we're all used to, that like battle, that like tug of war that goes on mentally when you're deciding between the right thing or the thing that you know is wrong for you. I fucking hate how my dude looks like bedhead hair, but let me get into it. Like I said, I've kind of made a mindset switch that kind of erased the rope in my mind in this tug of war situation. A lot of us deal with temptation over bullshit, over shit that we know that just shouldn't be in our lives, and we keep falling for it over and over again, or at least that's how you might feel right now. And it might feel like you're naturally addicted or lazy to a certain thing just because you can't get over it. Now, I heard this certain analogy on a podcast like a few years ago, and it really just melted away my temptations. And it was like this. The analogy went like this. If you have a pet pit bull, you wouldn't hand the leash over to your 3-year-old son. You wouldn't hand it over to your 5-year-old nephew either. You wouldn't even hand it over to a kid. You would hand it over to someone that was strong enough to hold it. Because if you handed it to your son, what do you think would happen? He would hold on to the leash, the pit bull would go running, and he's not strong enough to hold on to the leash, so he would lose what he wanted. And the same thing is happening in life with you. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, he's trying to hand you the leash to your life. He's trying to give you control over yourself. He's trying to give you what you actually want. Because you say you want this lifestyle where you're in shape, where you're making money, where you got the girl of your dreams. You have this desired situation that you want to be in. And the world and God is hearing you. He knows what you want deep down. But you keep failing the same tests over and over, so why would he hand you the leash to your own life? Every time you deal with temptation, you need to take an outsider perspective, because we get so used to being like tunnel visioned on our problem, and it's literally like we choose between what's right and what's wrong. And it's like a battle, like I said, this tug of war. But if you can step outside and be like, this is just God asking me whether I want pleasure right now or what I actually want later. When you can step outside and build that mental framework of just, oh, this is a test. This is literally just a test. And I have the choice to fail it now and not get what I want later, or I can fucking ace this exam, this test, flawlessly, and God will trust me to hand me the leash over to my own life. You see, God is trying. He really does. Okay, let me get one thing clear. I'm not like religious in the sense of, like, I'm not Christian. I grew up Catholic. I'm not Muslim. I'm not Jewish. Like, I don't particularly associate with a religion. I have certain values, don't get me wrong, but I consider myself agnostic. I just believe in God heavily. I just believe in, the world. I believe in the universe. I know referring to it as the world is bad to Christians, but like, I very much believe in God, and I believe in this energy that like we put out there. The point I'm trying to get to is this: you're being tested constantly. The reason why you don't have what you want is because you keep failing for the same tests over and over again. God is trying to prepare you for what you want. God is trying to God wants to give you this life that you want one day, but because you haven't earned the strength to hold on to the leash of your own life, he's not going to put the leash in your fucking hands. I really need to make that clear. And if you really want what you say you want, you need to start being real with yourself, and you need to say, holy shit, like I've been failing the same tests over and over again. Whatever you're dealing with, whether it's lust, whether it's putting pleasure over purpose, whether it's just not focusing on yourself, these are all tests that you're going through. And you might be failing a lot. And you might be feeling this innate sense of shame and guilt. Like on the inside, you're just eating away at yourself because you keep giving in to what you said you were going to stop. And you keep doing what's wrong instead of what's right. And it's killing you on the inside. The only way to make that go away is to do what's right. I know this is so fucking basic, but the reality is you want something, and the universe is testing you. It's putting problems in front of you. You said you wanted this, so let me give you an issue to overcome. Let me give you a problem to overcome. But because you keep falling victim to the inner bitch in your brain that just wants what's easy, wants what's comfortable, you're going to continue to stay the same. Because being comfortable just means you're staying the same. You're doing the same shit that you're used to. And if you actually want what you say you want, you need to be able to do something new. I'm being so serious. It's not easy, but it's very simple. These problems that you're dealing with, the only option you have is to do what's right. And if you can do that over and over again, you're going to start to understand how strong you actually are, how disciplined you actually are. And once you make that realization, you start to see that your life is way better when you are disciplined. Why do you think there's so many fucking YouTubers yelling at you about discipline? It's because it fucking makes sense. Understanding that you have the freedom to choose between pleasure and purpose, but yet you make the right decision every time. That's discipline. Discipline is being able to do what you tomorrow wants you to do today. And in 99.99% of the times, what you really want deep down is to pass the test that God put in front of you. But you're dealing with this sense of pain. Like I said, this mental tug of war where the devil on your shoulder wants you to do the wrong thing, but the angel on your shoulder tells you, no, just continue the path you're going on. But sometimes that devil seems very strong and very convincing, and he pulls you down to his level. And when you get pulled down to that bottom level, you start to feel those feelings of shame and guilt. And it keeps you in this loop of just making the wrong choice over and over again because you're trying to escape the shame and the guilt. I'm going on a little bit of a rant here, but what I'm trying to say is this. Whatever temptation you're dealing with, you need to realize that it's all going to pay off in the end. You just haven't given yourself enough time doing what's right to realize how good the right thing is. You've been so used to losing the battle over and over again. Giving up, hitting snooze on your phone, not going to the gym, going to fucking Chick-fil-A instead of eating to your macros. All of these temptations that you deal with, fucking lust, there's a million fucking temptations. But when you can realize that they're all just tests, that's when it becomes easy. When you can wake up with conviction and say, yo, today I'm genuinely going to pass as many tests as possible so I can move forward, so I can get stronger. Once you take on that mindset, it becomes a lot easier because they're not temptations anymore. They're just quizzes. They're just tests. They always have been. There is nothing really driving you to do the wrong thing. It's just you do the wrong thing because it's easy. But when you can realize that your problem that you're facing right now, whatever temptation you're facing right now, is the sole thing holding you back from the life that you want, it becomes easy because you say, why the fuck would I want this bullshit that makes me distracted for a couple seconds? Why would I want that when deep down I want a life where I'm fulfilled, where I feel at peace, where I feel proud of myself? I'm speaking in kind of vague terms here, but we need to address the elephant in the room. You are dealing with temptation of some sort, and it's killing you. But you can't get over it because you keep forgetting its significance. These tests are put in front of you because God is asking you, let's see if he actually wants what he says he wants. That pain you feel, like I said in that tug of war, that pain you feel is literally just the universe asking you, what is he willing to go through to get what he says he wants? That's the point I'm trying to get to. That mental anguish that you go through when you fight over temptation is just God asking you, how bad do you really want what you say you want? That's what it's about. So make that mental flip in your fucking brain and start looking at it differently. Start seeing these temptations as battles, and start seeing yourself as a warrior in these battles, like they're little wars. And once you can frame it that way and take a different perspective, they become easier. And once you start to stack the wins of, I beat temptation, I'm over temptation, this temptation is nothing to me, I really don't want that temptation. Like, it's not pleasurable. It doesn't make me happy. That's when it becomes easy. You don't have to deal with temptation for the rest of your life. You need to realize that there's like two parts to your brain. I'm not going to try and put it into scientific terms, but if I were to, you have your frontal lobe, which is like the decision making, the CEO of your brain, and you have a fear response part of your brain called the amygdala. It's in the back. The farther back, your brain starts like over here, connects to the spinal cord. The farther back your brain is, the more primal it is. The more front it is, like forward, frontal, the more high level and newer part of the brain it is. And we get so used to using that primal part of our brain that like activates, and it tells us, do the tempting thing right now, or else like you're never going to be happy. A lot of people aren't strong enough to control it, straight up. And they let that part of their brain become too strong. And if you feel like you're in that position right now where you feel like that part of your brain is too strong, you need to do one thing. Use it less. You need to start using your decision-making brain more. The stronger you get at that, the more you listen to that part of your brain, the stronger it gets. It's like the devil and the angel on your shoulder. The devil, the angel. The more you listen to one voice, the stronger it becomes. I'm trying not to make it too fucking complicated, but if you want to finish this battle of temptation that you're facing, take a step back. Realize that it's God preparing you for the thing that you want, for the life that you want. He's trying to hand you the leash. He wants to put it in your hands. But right now, you're like the toddler. You're like the 3-year-old. Maybe you're even older. Maybe you're like 7, like metaphorically. But you need to get a little stronger before God can give you what you actually want. And you have no clue how fast it can happen. You have no clue how fast your life can change if you just start winning these battles. It's a beautiful mindset because it's a winner's mindset. As corny as that sounds, I don't really care because that's the flip that you need to make inside here if you want the life you say you want. Temptation is really just the test. And once you start passing it, you get what you say you want. But because you have been falling for the tricks of the devil on your shoulder, you're not getting what the universe, what God wants to give you, which is a beautiful life. If you hate where you're at in life right now, I get it, because I've been there multiple times, dealing with the shame, the guilt, like the fuck, I just want to change my life. That happens all the time. But it gets so much better, way better than you could ever fucking imagine when you start to take yourself seriously. When you can put temptation away, when you can do what's right, and when you can listen to yourself and become the best version of yourself, that's when you start to find the true peace and happiness. That's when you can wake up with a sense of energy. And it's amazing. I don't want to yap too much because I feel like this is already kind of long. There might be some of you guys who actually watch this all the way through. And I just want to say that I make these videos for you motherfuckers, the ones who watch all the way through. Because you guys are the ones who comment. You guys are the ones who leave likes. You guys are the ones that I make this for. Because I know you want to change. I know you want to change just as bad as I want to change. I'm working on myself every day. I'm waking up fucking stupid early. I'm being mad aggressive in the gym with my workouts. I'm killing it every time. That's what I'm teaching my guys to do too. I'm teaching them to get their routines together. I'm teaching them to get their mindset together, to master these battles of temptation that they're facing. And I'm teaching them to do it together. I don't know. If you're new over here, I just want to welcome you over here because, I don't know. I want to grow and expand and meet more of you guys and really just spread as much value as I can to help the dudes out there who want to change their lives. Because like I said, I make these videos for you. And I love it when you guys drop comments and tell me that, I don't know, I had some impact, because that makes me feel complete. I don't know how many people might watch this, but if you made it this far, my name's Emmanuel Ferreira. It's nice to meet you, and I hope to see you guys around. Peace out, boys.